It is that time of year again, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, we are home making our own laundry detergent that lasts a year or more depending on how much you use. And also it's around $35. This year it's actually under $35. Last year it was a little bit under $45, unless you include how I bought a new tote and then it's back up to $45 again. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the things you will need and also things that I recommend. Before we get into all the ingredients that you will need, I want to start by saying how all of these will have prices with them and the amount. I will mainly put the prices for Walmart, but also what I paid. Since I am a military spouse, I went on base and I went to our local commissary to get a few of these, and I honestly didn't get to use a coupon this time. Because of that, I paid full, for the most part, full price, but you'll see a couple differences between the commissary and Walmart. So keep that in mind when you are buying, depending on where you are getting all of your ingredients. Also, this detergent for me lasted over a year. Last year was the middle of February. Right now we only have a couple days left of February. Last year, I think one of the reasons that it didn't last me more than a year, it just lasted around a whole year, was because I did give out a bunch of samples to a couple local people who wanted to try out this detergent. And also I was using, anytime I used our carpet cleaner, which usually is at least once a month, I was putting a lot in, and since we have a lot of carpet in our house, I was going through a lot. And also if we ever washed shoes or anything in a bucket, or maybe I hand washed anything, I was also dumping a little bit of the detergent into that. This should last you at least a year, and technically you only need about a tablespoon or two for your washer. I use the OxiClean, but I fill it up at the most to level 2 on the blue cup for the OxiClean, the blue scoop that comes in with the OxiClean, and I can show you that later. But you don't need any more than that. My husband is avionics technician and he works on F-16s. So specifically, I have jet fuel all the time. When both him and I are working on our vehicles, we always have grease, oil, and mud. Our son has mud. All three of us have sensitive skin, and I have to say this whole recipe for laundry detergent has not messed with any of our skin or anything like that. We've never had any rashes. I'm not saying this for every single person who tries this, but for us, I never have any residue left over. I never have any stains that don't come out, and we never get any itches or anything like that. And our son is going to be 2, but I've used this since before he was even born. So even as a newborn, he was getting this detergent. The very first thing I recommend for my specific recipe is a 20-quart tote, and I got a new one this year because if you've seen my last one, I have one like this. This was a really, really cheap one from Walmart, and I think it was like $5, honestly. It was like the cheapest one you can get, but it's just a really not secure lid. So this year, I have one where it's actually the handles that snap on or off, and it's apparently waterproof, airtight. It's got this little silicone ring around a gasket, basically. I never had a problem, even as the year went by. My smell to all of my laundry detergent still smelled amazing, but I think it's gonna be a lot stronger if I had an airtight container. For my military spouses or anybody else who moves constantly, you guys probably understand the whole, if you move yourself, that is, and not have other people move you, it's a pain in the butt to constantly tape up certain things that you don't want falling out. And for my old container, when we did move, I had to tape it with ship and tape or duct tape. I think I did ship and tape. I was lucky enough that the whole container did not bust, and also during our 2,000-mile move, we also still had it completely sealed, which was luck. Next, you'll need 65 ounces of borax, 4 pounds of baking soda, and technically this was cheaper at the commissary than 4 of the commissary brand little 1-pound boxes of baking soda, so I just went ahead and got the 4-pound. 55 ounces of the Arm & Hammer washing soda. Technically, you need 2 things of Zote, or you can use any other type of laundry detergent. They have the white bars, I get the pink. They also have, I can't remember the brand name, but I can insert a photo right here of other brands that a lot of people get. For my specific recipe, I found that just 2 bars of Zote is beyond perfect. I like to use 5 pounds of OxiClean, and technically I enjoy the purple, which is, I think it's just an odor booster, but I don't mind getting this one, and since this was the only one available, I went ahead and picked it up. Lastly, I confused a lot of people last year, but I have 105 ounces of this Ariel detergent, and this was my sub-in for 50 ounces of Biz, which apparently a lot of people don't know what Biz is, and also I don't think, even though I'm in a southern state, I guess it's just a Midwestern southern type thing, because even in Wisconsin, they had Biz in Walmarts, and I can't find Biz anywhere out here in Nevada, so I almost wonder if maybe Biz is only sold to certain states, or if they're no longer making it. The last time they made a commercial was in the 90s apparently. I can insert a photo as well here, and basically it's just another kind of like detergent. I said to sub in either Ariel, which was my first time last year trying this. I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to do it again this year. And then I said about if you wanted to, you could do Tide, but I wanted something that wasn't $20, $30 by itself. The very last thing that you will need is a grater, a cheese grater specifically. I've already used one of those oats and grated it, so you'll see I used the bigger side instead of the fine side. This will take forever to do. I think it's this side. This will take forever to use this fine side for finely shredded, so I just do the big chunks. I don't even worry. So get yourself an extra cheese grater just for laundry. First one I'm going to start with, and this is in no particular order because you're basically going to stir it up or shake it up anyways. So I'm just going to start with the washing soda. Next is the baking soda. It's gonna get very cloudy in your house. That's one reason I'm doing it on the kitchen island instead of the dining table or on carpet. Next, I'm gonna take the borax. I'm also gonna take this scoop. I bought this the first time because I didn't know the OxiClean came with one. I'm just gonna take this and break apart any of the chunks that I do have. Next, I'm going to take our Zote. Nothing special, I went ahead and grated it, and this is the OxiClean scoop that I do have, and there's 4 lines on it, A, B, C, and D, and I only fill it at the most to here. So you can tell that it's not very much. You can kind of see it down at the bottom. I had a little bit more than 1 whole load left, so it was about time to finally remake this. And then next, I'm gonna take this brand new thing of OxiClean. Lastly, the Ariel on top. Handy dandy knife. And now you can see why for my specific recipe, I suggest having a 20-quart tote. Now the hard part is to put on the lid, either shake it or go through and stir it up. Since I have 2 containers, I might honestly just dump some of it in there and then stir it all up. Now that we got it mixed up, for the most part, there are some spots that probably you missed, but like I said, you only need about a tablespoon or 2 to put into the washer. Now, I wanna talk about some commonly asked questions. First off, I had a couple comments talking about you can mix as you go, and yes, you could. I could totally do that, but I do wait till the end. One guy suggested how with a drill you have a little paint stirrer. He said to stick that to a drill and basically go in if you have like a 5-gallon bucket and just kind of stir it up. That's actually really clever, and sadly we don't have one of those, but I could potentially do that. Also, this recipe, you can sub in whatever you want. I did say that last year. You can use whatever scents you want. As of right now, I have a top load Samsung, and it does not have an agitator. One of these days, probably with the equity from this house, I will be getting a Speed Queen, so I don't have a lid lock. I have an agitator that works, and also when it breaks down, I can fix it. My washer technically has the little pull-out tray for detergent and stuff. I don't use that. I'm not a person who wants to clean that, and also it could potentially get clogged faster. So what I do is I will add this for my loads first, and then I will put in my loads as needed. You don't have to actually add this to a specific spot like the detergent pull-out tray. Same thing with fabric softener. You can get a fabric ball, and I've never had any problems with any of these 2 combinations. Another thing is I got a lot of questions asking if this was HE friendly. To be honest, because I'm more old school with certain things, I don't care about that. I'm not trying to be mean, but at the same time, whatever ingredients that you use, you can always look up on Google, is this insert name HE friendly with washers. I know that the borax does say on it that it is HE friendly. Everything that I use, when I looked it up, I couldn't see anything where it said not to use it with one, but like I said, I don't pay attention to that. So just do your own research. If whatever you want to use or whatever I used, if you look at it and you're allergic to a certain ingredient or it's not HE friendly and you don't want to use it, don't use it. Sub it in with something else. I got a lot of questions about asking if this only works with cold wash or if you can use it with hot water, and for me specifically, I mainly wash on cold, but I will say there are times like bed sheets where I like to do warm, eco warm, whatever it's called, and then it cleans on both of them. I've noticed that you get, for me specifically, I've noticed that it's more of a smell and softer if you use hot water, but just be cautious because cold water helps to get out stains and heat helps to set stains in. So it all depends on what you're actually doing. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope that I could help anybody out if you were curious on making this. I love doing this. This is my 3rd year, I believe, maybe 4th, and I'm very excited to continue it for pretty much the rest of my life. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see y'all next week, and God bless.